Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our usual live show on the Nemesis. My name is Patrick Carter. I'm the translator at the Cryptonomist. Today, I'm replacing my CEO, Amelia Tomasicchio. I hope I can do as good job as hers. And yeah, I'm introducing today's Swolchan. How are you doing, Swolf?
Hey, how's it going? Hello. How you doing? I'm amazing. How are you doing, Patrick? You good?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. So before talking about your work directly, I'd like to ask you, what's your involvement with the Slacker Duck Pond project? Are you one of the creators or are you just a supporter?
I'm not one of the creators. Well, the project came about to me, I think a week before they launched. Draghetto, who is Slacker Duck Pond, who's like the creator, he's one of my supporters. So he's one of my collectors. So he collects some of my work, which then he basically asked me to like help him out basically. So I decided, yeah, I love like community involvement, and this kind of like came about as like this opportunity where I didn't know where it's gonna go or what his vision was, but I just knew that any support of mine I can support him. So yeah, I mean today it's doing really well. I'm enjoying the space. I'm enjoying everything that's happening right now. Yeah, it's a wonderful little community.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, nice. So I've seen some of your collections, especially the Mitsuki one. It looks really nice. And I was wondering if you could share a bit of a story, about Suki and her companion Mits.
Okay, so Mitsuki was like a thing that I created, like a project that I created maybe 2.5 years ago, just before I kind of went into like digital art full time. I wrote stories. I wrote a lot of different things. You can see it up on the screen now. So this is one of the latest pieces, which is like the origin story, and everything is kind of just like a like a bit of me with inside like the story with a tiny bit of like everyone, and I've like changed the story from how it was originally written 2.5 years ago to suit the style of like how I explore the NFT world. I mean, like this is now kind of like my full-time job, and this is what I want to kind of like get into for the rest of my life. And yeah, I feel like this is like just the beginning almost, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, and I see you've got a nice traction. I wonder, like, have you thought about, the community of your supporters? What is the key to this kind of success?
What's the key to success for something like this? I feel like being very transparent to people. I know there's a lot of collectors out there who are scared to jump into a project because you know there's a whole like the people who are like the creators, they like to kind of like hide themselves from like who they really are, right? um so like when I first started this project, I said to people that this is me. I'm Swolchan. Like I've been building my brand for like 10 years, um and like or more, right? Like this is who I've been since I first started like my art journey. And you can trust me, like I'm not going anywhere. And the fact that if you do trust me, and anything happens, then I'm sinking like 10 years of practice down the drain. Like that's my identity. Like if I can't run away from it, if I did try to run away from it, like that's half my life gone. Well, more than half my life. I'm much older than 20.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
think I think they say reputation is the currency of the future, so it's important to keep that going. Um, and I wonder, so you've recently entered the NFT space, and I wonder, like, how did that happen, and how are you finding it?
I entered the NFT space early March. I didn't know anything about crypto. I had no idea how to trade in crypto. I just learned what MetaMask was um, in early March, and my buddy Ted Chin, who was dropping on Nifty Gateway, he basically introduced me to NFTs. And he gave me the opportunity to do a collaboration with him on Nifty Gateway, the platform. So I said, yeah, let's do it, right? So 2 months later, or 2.5 months later, we dropped, and that was June 10th, which was really, really cool. It was amazing. Like, it was an amazing experience. But I mean, like, most of my collectors came from OpenSea, where I dropped Mitsuki Key by accident almost, and everyone kind of like came from the apes. Like, a lot of apes came in, then like turned gutter cats to all these different collectibles, and I collect all of those too. And I feel like there's a real connection when you have like cross communities pollinating together. It has like a real sense that I'm one of them as they're one of me, and that's another thing as well about this whole NFT thing. You can be an artist and you can try and sell yourself as an artist, or you can join communities and get to know the real people, the real collectors. I think that's something which a lot of like artists need to kind of like maybe think about if they start something. Find out these communities, see what they're into, and like learn from them, understand them, and where they're trying to get to and what they're trying to do. And then that's how you kind of like create this like community around your own work, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see we've got a question from the Nemesis here, and I was wondering, like, let's see. So the question is, will Suki have a new companion like a pretty dog in the future? What's your best inspiration? Do you collaborate with other artists?
The future of the Mitsuki universe is like Mitsuki. If you think about Mitsuki, it's not me, it's not anyone. It's just a story, right? Anyone can take over. I feel like any artist or like creative, like team could take over the Mitsuki universe if they wanted to. It's kind of like I'm just directing this part of the story. It's like you have like different directors directing different Batman movies, or different like Transformer movies, and like anyone can take on that role as like the director. That I'm just like directing this whole thing at the moment. Maybe there'll be like a dog within the future. There is going to be a companion in the future. There is like talks within my world where a companion will come through. I think a lot of my collectors realize that this is like something which has a lot of future within inside the story. So that there's always like the potential of them being within inside the story too. We can always think like how can I bring like new characters in? Can I base them off my collectors? Maybe that could be like part of like a reward if you collect something. So like I like the whole gamification thing of the NFT space as well. Will I collaborate with other artists? Yeah, like one of my main things is to collaborate with other artists. So right now I have Dario De Sena, who is a big artist within the OpenSea world. A lot of my collectors are his collectors too. He's also in the duck in the Slacker Duck Pond as well, where we're both doing derivative work for the Slacker Ducks. And we're going to be giving those away for free to anyone who is a Slacker Duck. So that's to come as well. So like we like to collaborate with like other projects as well, depending on the project though. Like because I know the Slacker Duck community and I know what they want. I want to give them something that they want, right? And maybe not everyone will get a piece of the work, but you can always kind of like hope if you're part of like the community, we might pick you, sort of thing, and we'll end up creating a piece, a derivative piece, and sending it to you. We have plans to kind of make a limited edition size thing as well, to like kind of so everyone can kind of try and get a piece as well. So yeah, like he's going to be collaborating on my project as well as the Slacker Duck Pond, which we've already confirmed. And I've confirmed that I'm going to be doing some work with the Slacker Duck Pond as well. We have like Robbie Trevino, who is a Nifty Gateway artist. He just dropped last night. He has a world called Numinous World, and he also has a key project which I kind of helped him kind of build in a way, and kind of like I gave him like this sort of mechanism to build like his own community, and through that, he's also going to be collaborating with me. He's worked for Netflix, Love, Death and Robots season 2, to also like Magic the Gathering for over like 10 years. He's been like a Magic the Gathering like card artist for a very long time, so he's known in like the real world as well as like the NFT world. So it's nice to kind of like bring lots of different elements of other artists to the space, and create something new that we couldn't have created beforehand, which I think is like something special. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the collaboration part, I guess.
Yeah, and I was wondering, because obviously we've witnessed how the NFT world is, opening new horizons. And I was wondering, like, you as an artist, has it sort of like influenced your way of looking at art, your creativity in general?
I mean, I feel like I've always kind of like I studied concept art, right? I studied to like paint anything from anywhere, any angle, and be able to like kind of think of world building things. And like the influence of the NFT space, I think the way that I have to like communicate with collectors or like the community has changed. Like creating like discords and creating like these sort of gamification things, like even with the Slacker Duck Pond right now, like I get to communicate with like my collectors, right? And being able to hear their voices instead of like in the real world, if I was going to create work, I would never like get to hear the voices of my collectors, because they'll buy a piece of my work and I wouldn't know who bought the piece of work, right? Everything on like the NFT world is very transparent, so you can kind of like connect with them. I feel like that in itself is something which is very important within this space, like communicating back with your collectors, being able to make friends with them, understanding that we're all the same. We're all in this space for the same reason. Like we love looking at art. We're trying to buy, sell, and collect things. We're pretty much just like big children, but collecting something which has like a different value almost than like Pokemon cards, right? When I was a kid, I collected Pokemon cards, and that was something which like in this space I feel like, oh man, like these are like my bros, we're like oh, what have you got, what did you get from this collection, what did you mint, but it cost a lot more than a pack of Pokemon cards. But like that's like the crypto space, I think, like the NFT space. You're collecting something which is like money isn't really a thing, like actual fiat currency. I feel like I don't see like Ethereum or like crypto as like a fiat currency anymore. I just think of it as one Ethereum is one Ethereum. The price of it is just determined by the speculation of like how much it's worth. This is quite nice. Watching myself paint in the time lapse is really nice.
Yeah, that's really
but
good.
yeah.
And so I know that you live in the UK and you have Asian roots as well. So has this mix of cultures influenced the way you make art?
Honestly, I was born in the UK. Like my Asian roots, like my family, my heritage, I love to learn about, but like at heart I'm massively British. I follow the football. England, like football's coming home and everything, what I mean? Like everything from like the whole UK thing, like I'm very much British compared to like my Asian roots. I do love like sort of every like all like learning about different cultures, right, and learning about my own culture as well. But I feel like it's difficult to kind of like, you know, express myself when I'm not living there, or, you know, like I'm not like secluded to like all these, you know, things. Like I'm like, all my friends are very British as well. You know, I like Asian communities, you know, I have to go, you know, like to visit my relatives or something, and that's kind of like my Asian roots, and that's how I learn about my Asian roots. So it's a bit difficult for me to kind of like bring like these Asian influences to my work, um or anything like that really. Like I like watching, you know, manga, you know, like reading mangas and like watching like anime and things, but I'm not like a massive fan. I'd rather watch like something like you know, like some sort of like rom-com, or like comedy or something, you know, like very American, um like very Americanized like movies or something. I just, yeah, something to kind of put on the side, and you don't actually have to like, you know, watch, like if you're watching an anime or something, you have to really watch it and read it as well, because otherwise, you know, they're just saying random words to you, and you know, like you don't actually understand where like the story's going. So yeah, I think like something which is kind of on the side works for me better, for sure.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, and
yeah.
on that note, on the manga topic, we do have a question, and that it was like, do you work also with manga? But I guess I don't know. You can answer that.
um Not really, not really. Like the
Mm.
aesthetics of manga, I love. I love like the aesthetics of like, you know, all those different, you know, things. But like I wouldn't say like I'm a manga artist. You know, I'm more of like a illustrator, and I have like my own style. I think, which can be compared to like manga or like, you know, anime, but definitely not like completely similar. You know,
Hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah, and we've got another one. Let's take a last question from the public. And what are your favorite artists? Is there a favorite one?
What's my favorite artist? I think everyone's favorite artist. Like it depends on the genre for sure. So like my favorite, I guess like pop culture sort of, you know, very mainstream artist is probably James Jean, who, you know, is known by everyone. If you don't know who James Jean is, then, you know, you need to know who James Jean is. Like his work is beautiful. He has done like some NFT work. I think he did drop on Foundation, which, you know, the piece went for like hundreds of thousands. And also he did one on a platform called Legend, which is on the Wax platform. So it's like proof of work, I think, or is it proof of stake? I can't remember which one is which, but yeah, that's definitely like an influence of mine. And then also, like if there was an artist which I would love to not be, but like, you know, live a day in the life of, is definitely the street artist David Cho. Um, he's one of those sort of very you know, prolific sort of artists, which, you know, you just want to live a day in life of, just because, you know, just the way that he is, I reckon. But yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing. And we're gonna wrap up soon. We have a last question. Do you have any project future? Something coming up?
Something coming up. Well, the Mizuki universe is always something which, you know, will always be delivering, you know, like future works. Um, I'll be working closely with the Slacker Duck Pond, with, you know, the community side of things and the derivatives. Like the pond itself is like, they're just a bunch of great people, and you know, like they truly believe in the project. A lot of the people there, you know, they're like big bag holders of, like, you know, the ducks, and I feel like they deserve something more than just, you know, the NFT itself, you know. So bringing some new things to the project, you know, highlighting the project, shouting it out even more, getting it well known, like increasing like the unique like holders as well, is something which I feel is like, you know, so we can bring more people into the community. It's something that I will be working on in the future with them. and helping them like, you know, throughout the whole journey. Anything that I can do for them as well. I will be doing a solo drop on Nifty Gateway in October, and then also there is other projects and other, well, kind of like, you know, my own personal projects. I'll probably be bringing like Mizuki around to different platforms, and using those platforms to kind of like, you know, bring my unique collectors to those platforms, and being able to kind of like reward them with things, you know. Like I want to be very rewarding, so anything that I do will be like, you know, as cheap as it can be for my, like, you know, key holders, the people who are like, you know, collecting my work. So, you know, like a dollar drawing or something, so very limited edition sizes, that I want to kind of like do, and kind of like be able to like represent, you know, Mitsuki on like a wider level, a wider scale than just like OpenSea and like on Discord. So yeah, kind of like bringing it to like different places, I think, opening new worlds for like Mitsuki holders, and maybe one day like it could turn into an animation or like a manga, or an animated series or a movie that could be released on something like Netflix, or, you know, something in the future. That would be really cool. I think that's probably like the future of, you know, like what I want to do. But yeah, there's like always other projects as well which come to like my like doorstep basically, and I always consider them, and consider like, you know, if I can get involved, or if I can get, you know, other people involved, which, you know, like I feel like, you know, could help them out. It's always about, you know, helping each other out, I think. So yeah, that's the future.
That's great. That's great. I wish you good luck with everything. And Swolf, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for this interview. And yeah, talk soon.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, man. And thank you, Nemesis, for everything. Big up all the slacker ducks in the pond right now. Yeah, thank you for like the interview.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.
Take care.